have your attention, please? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
They're here.
Rise, my nation. Gather around and prepare. Our pride will be restored. Our shadow will fall with wicked damnation. Rise, my nation. Rise. This is your nation. This is our nation. This is the Raider Nation. Can you dig it?
What it is, Raider Nation, top of the evening, bottom of the afternoon. Happy Tuesday. I hope all is well with everybody out there, man. Thank y'all for pulling up to another episode of the Lunatik Raider Show, man. We got a good show for you today. Ain't no April Fool's bullshit jumping off over here. I'll let the kids handle that shit. But we are going to discuss some of the moves the Raiders made, a couple of moves. Specifically with Spy Tech. I got some snippets of Spy Tech at the owners' meetings. He said a couple of things that is starting to make sense now, and it's just like what I thought. And we're going to get into it with a couple of signings that we made, both defensive and offensive, that a lot of people might frown upon. But me diving into the numbers and the stats of these two, and then going back, to back when they were with Spy Tech, and then of course now we're talking about Alex Kappa and Devin White, and then I see the method to their madness. I understand what they're trying to do. I also have a theory on the type of defense they're building, like real deal Holyfield. So it looks like they're doing a hybrid defense, but I don't know. I'm just from the outside looking in. I'm trying to see what they're doing, and it's kind of like they're implementing. We'll get into it in a minute, man. Shout out to the world's most dangerous chat, man. I can go on forever. Shout out to the most dangerous chat. Thank y'all for pulling up, man. We got Billy Davis in the building, man. Salute to you, my brother. I hope all is well. Lawrence E in the house. Salute to you. We got Eagletarian 207, man. What it is, man. Salute to you. Sacktown Raider Mike, man. Hey, I hear that, bro. Yeah, the sodium. I understand. Like, my girl had back surgery, and their thing with her was she had to get her iron up. You know what I mean? So she had to do iron supplements. I don't know about sodium with the salt intake. Do you eat pretzels, or I don't know how that works. But man, yeah, get that taken care of, man, so you can go ahead and get in there and get a speedy recovery, man. Like I said, we're gonna need that extra foot in the ass of this opposition this year, because they need their ass whooped. You know what I mean? But hey, man, hopefully things go well where you can get in there and I hate to go under the knife, man, but go under the knife and get what you need to get done, man, and get right, man. That's all that matters. Hey, salute and prayers out to you for real. Who else we got up in the building, man? We got Raider Paul in the building with the what? With the...
I'm out of town. There you go. There you go.
There you go. There you go. You know what it is. You know what it is on this Tuesday, man. Salute to all. Let me scroll on down here. Get my 2 cents in the building, man. What it is. Salute to you, my brother. Hope all is well. Let's see. Lawrence E, the boy was talking real spicy yesterday. Man, Lawrence, you tripping off of that shit, bro? On some internet shit? That's what really got your chap your hide, as they say in the old commercials. I said, whatever you sell and take it from them, bro. You could. It was. You know what? I ain't got time to argue with motherfuckers that can't take a joke. I had to learn to take jokes on this motherfucker. I had to learn how to understand that this is just the internet, bro. And you know how my show is, shits and giggles, bro. Ain't nobody said nobody about you getting your ass kicked, robbing you. I just said take like candy from a kid, candy from a baby type shit, bro. But if you can't handle that shit, man, that's not my problem. That's yours. So, man, if you can't deal with that shit, then you can't come here and enjoy yourself and just laugh and fuck. You saying some shit too, bro. Ain't nobody tripping off what the fuck you saying. God damn, everybody want to try to piss on somebody's parade. We in here having fun, talking Raider shit, coming with my opinions, y'all in the chat and shit, and then you want to come sideways worried about I got you fucked up. I ain't got you fucked up, man. I'm just fucking with you. God damn, man. I tell you, some motherfuckers just, man, ain't even no words. You know what? Hey, go handle your business, homeboy. I ain't tripping off of you, man. Shout out to Real Talk Raider Nation, man. Salute to you, man. Thank you for pulling up. Motherfucker, just fuck off the whole fucking vibe of the show. SoCal Sound the building, man. Salute to you. Now I understand what people were saying about the internet. It's just the fucking internet. And you know my show just be cracking jokes and all that shit. Motherfuckers get they fucking panties all in a fucking bunch. Blue Richards, what up with it, man? Salute to you. Finally made it live, man. Welcome, man. I appreciate you, man, for real. Raider Loso, what is the deal, man? Salute to you. Loso way. Puebloso, Mafioso. Billy Davis, Mike G in the building, man. Salute to you, my brother. Tops. Hope all is well. That's like me getting mad at Mike G because he's saying that I'm giving away a 10-inch TV. He said I'm giving away a 10-inch TV. What you trying to say, Mike? I'm broke. You got me fucked up. You trying to say I ain't got no money? I went to the Goodwill and got an old ass black and white TV with rabbit ears. Come on, motherfuckers too sensitive, man. That's what's wrong with this generation. Sensitive as a motherfucker. Motherfuckers swear up and down, man. They be like they menstruate. Salute to all, man. Salute to all. Let me try to catch up. Raider Food Chris, what's the deal, man? Looking forward to meet you this weekend. We going to have a couple of that's what yeah, man. I'm gonna try to make that shit. I'm supposed to go work, man, but I might push my my shift from Sunday to Friday, man. I was trying to push it to Thursday, but they didn't have an opening for me to swap my shift to that day, man. I'm gonna try to though, bruh. 805 got at me and asked me too, but I'm gonna try to, man. I can't make no promises, like I said. It all depends if I can get them to let me change my shift to Thursday instead of Sunday. Let me see. That's Billy Davis. Damn, D-Nice, I fucked up, bruh. I'm sorry, bruh. I keep telling you I'm gonna come out with the snippet. My name is D-Nice. You know what I mean? Hey, every time I see you, bruh, I be always forgetting. That's what happens when you get old, bruh. You know what I mean? Motherfucker hit that 52 and it kind of like, physically it don't feel like it. Mentally, bruh, sometimes I be slipping like a bad transmission. You feel me? Bars. For real, for real. Oh, man, let me see who else in the building, man. Salute to all, man. Shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm trying to get caught up to where all y'all is at, man, for real. Let me see. Raider Food Chris D-Nice. Keep doing what you, bro. Hey, don't trip. I'm too cool of a cat to be scratched by kittens. You know what I mean? I come from way. I've been around too long and been to many too spots and developed many friendships with some of the realest people on this earth, bro. I don't trip off of that. I gotta learn. See, motherfucker just had to learn how this internet shit work. You know what I mean? And everybody know, like I say, my shit is entertaining and informative. You know what I mean? I don't come on here dissing nobody. I be talking shit, but it's just like I told Mike, like I told Sacktown Raider Mike. I was like, get you a bionic hip, because we need that extra foot to put in the foot of the ass of opposition. But you know, some motherfuckers be taking it from left field, nigga. I'm never left. It's always right side on mine. For real. What up? I'm a woman, but happy to be. Oh, my bad, dear lady. Hey, welcome. You know what I mean? We have fun here. We laugh. We supposed to laugh and talk Raider football. You know what I mean? So I hope that you come here, you enjoy yourself, conversate with amongst other Raider fans amongst the chat, man. You know what I mean? This is what I say, man, ma'am. You know what I mean? So I hope all is well. But thank you. Thank you for coming here. Shout out to everybody that's here for the first time. Please, if you have not done so, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 3,000 subscribers. Once we hit 3,000, I will be giving a TV giveaway to one lucky subscriber. But you must be subscribed to the channel. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. I see y'all over there. Tubby Chile, I see you over there on Instagram, bro. Hey, thank you for pulling up, man. Support, for real. I'm trying to put Desert Raider in the building, man. Salute, man. He said it ain't no 10-inch TV. Hey, Mike G be clowning. He be clowning on me. He said it's gonna be a 10-inch TV, bro. That's a cell phone. Hey, what's the screens on the cell phone now? Like 9.5 or whatever the fuck, 6.5. Oh, hey, Mike, what? Mike, hey, Mike G gonna fuck around and say my phone is 6.5 on soft. Mike's stupid. Mike is stupid, man, for real. Oh, shit. D-Mokes. Hey, D-Mokes in the building, man. Salute to you, my brother. Good to see you, man, for real. He up in the building, man. That's right. Oh, shit. Good to see y'all, man. I hope all is well with y'all, for real. I'm looking for, No, I know you gave me an F on the mock, bro. That was an F for real. But I was just talking shit. I said, fuck your fanship. I said, fuck your fandom. I said, you get an F for fuck your fandom. I didn't say nothing about fuck you. Well, you 57, I'm 52. I mean, shit, ain't nothing but, airing opportunity between the two ages, bro. You got to know how, you been to this show, bro, before, man. Come on now. You been to this show. You know how I get down over here. We talk shit. I don't get mad when y'all talk shit. Like when Mike G say I'm 2 inches on hard. That hurts my feelings. I know I got at least 2.5. That kind of shit. Come on, bruh. Life is too short, bro. We halfway to the grave than where we are from birth. At our age, come on now. We spending time on some petty shit when we ain't even, I ain't say fuck you, I said fuck your fandom. God dang, man, come on, bruh. Calm down, bruh, calm down. This is a place to come and have fun, man. I don't want people in the chat thinking, oh, this is drama. No, ain't no drama over here. I'm fuck drama. We here having fun. Come here and have fun, Lawrence. You here every damn day, bruh, and you think... You know how I get down, bro. I just don't understand. I mean, maybe you having a bad day, bro. If so, man, my prayers go out to you and the fam bam, bro. I hope all is well. Man, I hope whatever you going through, bro, God touches you and let you know it's going to be all right, bro. It's going to be all right. I talk my shit, but it's not, like, aggressive. It being fun. Come on, bro, man. Come on now. Let's not do this shit, blood, please. Ilya, salute. Top to you. Luis Barros. Coach GM. Hey, we need a new coach or GM. Anybody looking for a new coach? GM, we got one in the chat. Salute to all, man, for real. All right, man. I'm trying to get to it so we can get to the show, man. I got some good breakdowns, good takes. M85, what? He said, Loon be saying some vulgar shit. Come on, bro. You already know, bro. Like I said, man, I ain't got time for no drama, man. Why we can't, like, knock back some shots, blow one for the pole one, and just talk Raiders like our best Raider moments, the worst moments of... Okay, I'll start off. My worst Raider moment, and I told people this before in case y'all don't... And y'all know if y'all know about the history of the Raiders. 1990 AFC Championship against the Buffalo Bills. My worst moment ever. I swore that day, because don't forget the Niners lost to the Giants. That was that Giants-Bills Super Bowl. I was hoping that was the LA Raiders. I was hoping the Raiders go meet the Niners and beat their ass. I want to beat the Niners in the Super Bowl. Because that time in that era, they were running them off in the 80s. And we were fresh into the 90s. Art Shell, the head coach, I was for sure. I said, we take care of motherfucking Buffalo, meet up with the Niners in the Super Bowl. It's on. And both teams lost, but we got our ass kicked. We got our ass kicked, bruh. I'll never forget that shit. The 1990 AFC Championship, bruh. To this day. You know what I mean? Shit. He said, hey, 10-inch TV is better than the jail cell, bruh. Right above the spread. You know when you get the noodles and the oysters and the kipper snacks and the summer sausage? You know what I mean? Get the hot water. I make a burrito. Get the hot water, put it in the bag, roll that motherfucker up and let it sit. What? Oh, shit. He said 3 inches. See now, yo. Hey, shut up with that shit. Gravy in the building, man. Salute to Gravy, man, in the house, man. For real, man. We about to get into this, man. I'm trying to scroll down. I'm trying to scroll. Y'all ain't here active, and I can't catch up. I can't catch up, man. I can't catch up, man. Oh, shit. Willie Gray in the building. 50, man, you already know, bruh. That hurted my soul. 51-3 is what we lost that game. 51-3. And all them fucking interceptions we threw. That's when we even had Vince Evans. Remember the light-skinned dude with the freckles? He had to come in there and throw an interception. Oh my goodness. That was what Jay Schrader. Schrader was our quarterback. We made the AFC Championship run. We couldn't fucking beat Buffalo. Oh my goodness. He said Lunatik is the older brother. Oh shit. Alex Ingham, salute to you. Word is Amari Cooper to sign a deal with the Raiders. Man, that better be a April Fool's joke. I mean, for what's out there in free agency right now, bro, hey, and if the price tag is right, that does not keep you from drafting a wide receiver anyway. You know what I mean? So I can understand that shit. Some people want him. Oh, Raider Fool Chris came with the what?
I'm out of town. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Jay Schrader, man. Hey, yes. Schrader, then Vince Evans came in to finish the game. Oh my God, man. Don't remember me. Don't remember me. Don't remind me, bruh. That was a tough pill to swallow, man, for real. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Okay, so we're talking about Spike Tech was at the meetings, you know, had some interviews and stuff, and he touched on some things that pretty much confirm what the belief of this defense was, and not just the defense, the whole team, period. As far as the machine as a whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Like I said, it's not as important as the individual himself, but what that individual adds to the machine. Like what they bring into it to make that machine work. You don't have to be the greatest individual player, but you have to be great within the system. And Spike Tech pretty much reassured me that's exactly what their approach is. I kind of figured that by the way things were transpiring and stuff. So we're gonna get into it now. Let's go ahead and get into Spike Tech. I want to do this in an order to cover. Let me see. Let's start. We're gonna start with the Kappa. But before I get into that, one Spy Tech to do the breakdown on the draft. So this is pretty much going to tell you exactly, His approach to the draft is exactly his approach, not just in the draft, but free agency, as far as the pieces that he's gathering for this team and the purpose of doing that. So let's get into that now.
Like it's not necessarily about adding talent or the best player here. It's about how do we put it all together, the puzzle, and make it make sense. Years where there's deeper classes at a certain position, it makes you think like, well, if we pass on it here, maybe we can get one here, but if we pass on this one here, we'll never have a shot at it. And so that's kind of the strategy that comes up over the next, 3.5 weeks here.
So like you said, let me run that back one more again, man. For those that didn't hear that, man, I see some of y'all came up in here, man. Let me get to this again. This is Spy Tech on the draft. Let me shut my ass up, and then y'all can understand. He's going to tell you the approach, and it's going to pretty much sum up what I was telling y'all about the sum of or the machine as a whole.
Like it's not necessarily about adding talent or the best player here. It's about how do we put it all together, the puzzle, and make it make sense. Years where there's deeper classes at a certain position, it makes you think like, well, if we pass on it here, maybe we can get one here, but if we pass on this one here, we'll never have a shot at it. And so that's kind of the strategy that comes up over the next 3.5 weeks here.
So what he's saying is, rather than adding just the best player at that position here, you want to add the best player that fits the pieces of the puzzle. Pieces of the puzzle being the defense or the offense. So what fits into what you're trying to do on your defense? You know what I mean? Like, for instance, we can go out there and say the best corner in the draft is 6 foot 198. But we know, and then this is also going to carry into what I believe they're trying to do with this defense, how they're trying to build this defense. I think it's going to be a hybrid of two defenses from the past that they're both familiar with. And I'll get to that point in a minute. But they're trying to add pieces to what they're trying to do as a whole. So instead of getting like the best corner might be 6 foot 198, but the secondary you're trying to build is you want 6'3", fast, you know what I mean? You want 6'3", fast, long ranging for what you're trying to do. Even though that guy 6 foot is good, is he going to be exact fit for your defense? I'll give you another example. When we talked about it recently is Nnamdi Asomugha. Nnamdi was phenomenal in man-to-man coverage. Phenomenal, lockdown. Couldn't throw to him. But once you put him in a zone, all that was done. So even though we looked at Nnamdi as being a hellified corner in a zone system didn't work for what Philadelphia was trying to do. So they were trying to do zone, and that was not the strength of Asomugha. Asomugha was better in a man-to-man type defense. So we took him out of his element and put him in something else that he did not fit. So it doesn't matter how dominant you are here. Now, you get some guys that can play anywhere. You put him in any defense, he's good for it. But not everybody's built like that. Everybody is, if you're suited for this, for instance, you wouldn't have, if you had a 5'9" corner, you know what I mean, a little dude, but he fast as shit, you're not putting him on a 6'5" tight end. Why? Because that's not his strength. You definitely not going to do it. And some teams might have to move to a linebacker just to match up size. But see, I notice a lot of teams are more concerned with speed than they are by size. At least with size, you can only contend passes, but you might not be able to keep up with that fast tight end. A corner, they always put corners on tight ends, if you notice a lot, because your tight ends are usually they get a faster tight end, especially these athletic ones nowadays. Like when we had Waller. You couldn't just put a tight end on Waller. Waller blow right past him. There's no contention for a pass if I just blow by you. But there's contention, at least some type of contention. If I got a fast guy that can keep up with you, the only thing I got to worry about is this vertical to be able to contest with 50-50 balls and whatnot that's above him. But at least he's there to contend, not getting blown by. So some guys are better suited for certain defenses than others. What we're doing is finding guys to suit the defense that we're trying to run. What kind of defense is that? We're going to get into it. I'll get into that after we cover all this, but let's go ahead and continue further with Spy Tech. We're going to go ahead. That's his approach to the draft. Guys that are pieces to fit what we're trying to do. Doesn't necessarily have to be the greatest at that position or that position, but fit what we're going to do. And that question can also go back to at number 6. Is Genty the guy, one of the pieces that can fit what we're trying to do? If not, I don't think it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Now that he, made this statement, let me see. Let's go into, I want to go on Kappa. Now, a lot of people were talking about Kappa, how last year was his worst year in his career. True. That's true. He tied Mason, I think the other dude, as far as sacks allowed, which he allowed 8 sacks last year, but he's good in the defense against the run. But last year he had a bad time, but his career does not show me a consistency of being bad. Was it a fluke? Was it the team that he was on? I say that it's going to be the team that he was on, and we're going to get into that in a minute. But let's go ahead and hear what Spytek said about Kappa.
Offensively, once we signed Kappa, we had a lot of pieces in place, especially when we traded for Gino. We kind of solidified the biggest spot there, and the O-line feels like it's in a pretty good spot right now. I think we've got a good group of 4 guys in there that have played in NFL games with JPJ and Jordan and Dylan and Cap now, and it'll bring out competition. Obviously I'm familiar with Cap. I know what he's all about. We drafted him in the 3rd round out of Humboldt State, which doesn't even have a program anymore, I don't think. Cap's a great person. He's a hard worker. He's a competitor. I remember talking to Tristan, and Tristan was like, I would never have had the rookie season I had without Cap next to me. And the communication and the toughness and the professionalism that Cap has, I think that's going to be great for some of our young guys. And, it's another big body that got in there to compete with those other guys and push everybody. And that's central to our program now, especially with Pete driving it. We're going to have competition, so nothing's promised to anybody. I know JPJ was first team all-rookie last year. Everyone's going to have to earn it. It's a totally new start here.
Is he a center now, or is he still in the guard mix, JPJ? You see him as a center, or are you still?
I think we're seeing him as a center right now, and going to compete with probably Jordan in there. And we know Jordan can play all those spots too. And Dylan's has some flexibility at center too. Is really the only one that doesn't is Cap. And so we'll just figure out how they compete and where they go. Where they take their careers, and the best guys are going to play.
So Kappa is solely going to compete for the guard position, the right guard. You got a 3-way, and you got guys on this team from DJ Glaze and Kappa. Kappa's, like I said, he's going to compete guard, but you got DJ Glaze that can play guard as well. I think he could play center too. He said, well, anywhere on the offensive line and you want me, put me there. That's DJ Glaze. I like that mentality. But and I believe everything that they're doing is the correct way of going. We do know JPJ. They said right now he is the center. And right now, DJ Glaze is the right tackle. But the competitions will come up in camp. And I believe the best man should get the job. Plain and simple. I don't care what his name is. Who's best suited for playing that position? Who's better? Because the whole idea is to have this team as best as it can be. So the competition is going to weed all that out. You guys got competitions at center, guard, and tackle that you're gonna be seeing. We got some linemen. We let these Mumford and we let these guys go at it. We let them go at it. Last 5 standing is the starters. The rest, you're the depth. And that's exactly what you get from this. Now, you go into the draft, you might grab a lineman or two, and like Spytek said, he likes linemen. You know what I mean? Now, let's talk about Spytek. Now, Spytek said about Kappa, which he's familiar with because they drafted him in Tampa. He was with Cincinnati last year. He did not have the greatest of all seasons last year, but that was the only bad season he had. Now, within his career, he has had 2 fractured ankles, one being with Cincinnati in 2002, 2000, was it 2003? 2003. 2002, I think 2001 or 2, one of the two, Kappa left Tampa Bay and went to the Buccaneers. But when he was in at guard, when he got over there to the Tampa or the Bengals, I think the second year there or the first year, 21, 22, whatever, whenever he left Tampa Bay and went to Cincinnati and they gave him that, I think $35 million for so many years. The Bengals averaged 4.84 yards per carry running over the right guard spot where he was. Now you got to remember when he was with Cincinnati, don't forget let me see, who was it? He had big Trent Brown at the right tackle spot. Trent Brown only played 3 games that season. The rookie Mims came in. So he had the rookie to the right of him, which I think he helped with his development because like Spike Tech said, he helped with the rookie in Tampa Bay develop. He said he helped, Kappa helped him a whole lot. So this kind of makes you think, well, we know that Glaze is a young man. He's still developing. Kappa could help him develop. He could help him develop. And like I said, we can't judge Kappa by one bad season when he had multiple good ones, especially winning the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, even though he didn't. I think he fractured. That's the first time he fractured his ankle in the playoffs. And then when he got to Cincinnati, he fractured his ankle again. That's one thing I want to keep my eye on is the ankle. But on a 2-year deal with only $5 million guaranteed on an $11 million deal, it's pretty much a one and done. Either the plan is he shows that he can hold his own and get another deal after this year, or you let him walk, or you go into the draft, you draft a guard. Now you got your guard in line to replace him after this year, and have Kappa groom him. It's a business. Kappa knows what it is. You know what I mean? He left his team and went to go get the money with the Bengals, so you know what it is. Teams are going to find a cheaper and a younger value to groom up. So that's a possibility that they can be aiming at. But we're talking about Kappa. Let me see. Did I get everything on here covered? So we talked about the draft. He talked about the O-line, the approach, or the competition on Kappa, and then we'll get on that next. Okay, so let me bring this up. This is who Kappa played with in Cincinnati. This is it right here. Not the greatest offensive line. See, sometimes, and then going by what Spy Tech said, it's not just the individual, it's how they fit. Look at this offensive line. Look at the penalties each one of these guys. This is the starting 5. The penalties and the sacks they allow. Now, Kappa, yes, he's not great. He had less penalties than anybody on here. So that's a good thing about him is he does not get penalties. But he did give up 8 sacks. But then you got people on here that had 8 penalties and 3 sacks when you're just talking about Orlando Brown Jr., who played the left tackle spot. An overall grade of 58.2, 68.5 in the pass protection, 49.7. 49.7 in the run game, run protection. But then you look at Kappa. Kappa was 54.9% in run protection. So run protection was good. Penalties was down to only 2 out of all this 5. But like I said, with a guard, you can kind of help a guard out by the center and the tackle. The right tackle that Kappa played with last year, like I said, was Mims. Mims was coming off missing 2 or 3 games early that season due to a pec injury. So I'm pretty sure he was not 100% healthy. But even though we see Big Mims had 4 penalties and 4 sacks he gave up. Then the center we see on here, which was Ted Karras, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Ted Karras, the center, 3 penalties and 2 sacks, you know what I mean, is what he had. But you look at his ratings, he was damn good in pass protection, and his run protection is right there with Kappa. So yeah, the only bad thing Kappa had was the sacks and pressures he got that year, but that was the only year he was bad like this. So are we going to grade his career and what he is off of 1 year, or just say, look at Cincinnati's offensive line, bruh? Our line is killing their line. Colton Miller, JPJ, Glaze, and then now you go ahead and battle it out for the guard, Kappa playing guard, most likely between Glaze if he gets the right tackle spot, or JPJ. So you got JPJ on the left for you. I know JPJ is better than Karras, or whatever his name is. You know what I mean? And then we go down to where we see the left guard. You got Gordell Volson, who had 8 penalties. Look at all the penalties on the left side of no wonder they ran to the right side of the ball that first couple of years he was with Cincinnati, and they were 4.86 yards per carry running over where Kappa was at. So Kappa serves a purpose in the run game. He graded good on the run game. Compared to everybody on his team, only he was even better than Mims at right tackle, even though he was a rookie. But his grade is up there. The one guy who was the best at run protection is the left guard. But yet that left guard had 8 penalties and 6 sacks allowed. Bruh, that's not good, bruh. So at least we know with Kappa, he's not all bad. He's good in the run, and he's good with not getting penalties. And he started all 17 games. He has not missed a game in 3 years. That's durability. So I think the positives outweigh the negatives, because I'm pretty sure you can fix the sacks allowed by the talent you put around him. So like I said, that starting no wonder Cincinnati. And then the first couple of years, what year was it that Cincinnati went 12-4? Yeah, Kappa was part of that 12-4 team. He was doing good when he got to Cincinnati. It was just last year. Look at this ragtag ass offensive line, bruh. The overall ratings, 58.2 was their left tackle. 59.3 was the left guard. 64.1 was the center. 50.5 overall. 50.5 overall for Kappa. Why? Look at the hit he took in the run game. I mean, in the pass game. Him being the 39.7, bro. Of course, he had a bad year in pass protection only. So it's like, but look what he had around him. You know what I mean? It's not like he had the great. This was the 21st ranked offensive line, and you had a decent center, and you had a promising young right tackle. 21st in the league. You're 11 away from being last out of 32 teams. So a lot of people, we be hearing the chatter of people who ain't even Raider fans talking about the Raiders. Oh, I don't like this signing. What, for a 2-year, $11 million with only 5 guaranteed? And after this year, that money goes back to the cap? After the guaranteed money is paid? If he doesn't pan out, and you probably gonna go like Spytech said, he likes offensive linemen. He's gonna draft an offense. He said we got 9 picks, we got picks, and you know I like offensive linemen. If that don't say enough, you know what I mean? If that don't say enough, Kappa is here to compete. He's not the starting right guard. He's gonna compete for it. What if he comes out of his funk and does better with us? Like, I had a bad year, it's behind me, bam, let's get started. You know what I mean? So that's why I say we can't always judge a book by its covers. We got to do in-depth search and then breakdowns of why did he not do good? There's a reason. See, there's excuses and reasons. And then this is God's given truth. There's excuses is usually why what people come up with when the reasons ain't suiting their narrative. You know what I mean? If the reasons ain't suiting what I'm saying, well, the wind was blowing too hard. I had a hangnail. I had to go shit. You know, that kind of thing. So we gotta do better than that, man. For real, for real. Let me see. Change the scenery. Exactly. And we done seen that happen plenty of times. You know what I mean? How did Randy Moss look with New England after we traded him from us? What, he had 20-something touchdowns that year with Brady? Change the scenery. He didn't want to be here. You know what I mean? Minnesota got rid of him. We got him. He stayed here for a couple of years, didn't pan out, send him on to New England. Damn near was damn near the second only team in history to go undefeated until they got that reality check. I don't know where they cashed it at, but they got cashed. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out for everybody pulling up, man. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, man. Once we hit 3,000, there will be a TV giveaway, man. For real, for real. All right. So this is my cap. I just want to look at cap. So stop the cap. This ain't April's Fool's Gold. You know what I mean? Like, Kappa has a purpose of why he's here, and his purpose is to compete and see what he can do. Like I said, if he has any of the other years in his career besides last year, we're fine. We're fine. He's good in the run. That's a fact. Even on a bad year, he did good against the run and did not get as many penalties as the rest of that offensive line. 2 penalties in 17 games. I'll take that every time. Because what happens with that is 2 penalties is less amount of times you have of killing a big play. What if Geno Smith goes deep? Trey Tucker, touchdown. Op, penalty, holding, bring it back. Penalties to me, penalties are more hurtful than sacks. Now, sacks will get to the quarterback as long as he don't fumble. Might be scrambling around and get got, but we don't turn the ball over. We live another day. You know what I mean? And it doesn't take points off the board. That's why we got to get rid of the ball, which this offense is going to be predicated on getting rid of the ball. That's why you got a quarterback who can get rid of the ball. We got to look at it as the whole total of the offense and defense. Sometimes we get stuck on individuals. Genty, McMillan. But do they fit what we're trying to do? Now, some of these guys can fit anywhere. But what if we need the running back to be a run blocker as well, to help out in you know what I mean, or pass protect? I mean, not run block, but pass protect as well. See, and if you know the strengths of all your linemen are not going to be superheroes. They're not going to have any weaknesses. They're going to have weaknesses. What is it? In the run game or in the pass game? If Kappa's problem continues with having problems in the pass protection, then you got to get him help. You got to get him help. You're going to need a running back who can help him. You know what I mean? To give Geno that time to get that ball off. So, I mean, it all works together in unison. But yeah, I just want to break that one down. Now we're going to go ahead and get into Devin White. Devin White is another example. People say he's not the Devin White of Tampa Bay. Why not? We're going to get into that right now. Shout out to everybody out there, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Alex Hopper needs to out muscle a little bit more. Well, yeah, I agree with you. But at the same time, he's not a horrible guard. He had one bad year, and that was in pass protection. One bad year. So fuck all the good he did. We just gonna judge you by 1 year. We can't do that. You gotta, and especially somebody who was there that drafted him in Spy Tech. He was there. He know what this kid can do. They scouted him. So they know what he can. So you're giving him an opportunity. He's a guy I'm familiar with. He's a free agent. It ain't costing us a whole shitload of money. Bring him in. Let him compete. Let's see what he does. What's the harm in that? Now, if we would have paid him, $10 million a year, I got a problem with that. You don't pay $10 million on something you're trying to figure out, can he still be productive? He's only 30 years of age as a lineman. We know linemen can play for a while. All they do is squat and shit. You know what I mean? So I'm curious and see what he can do. Can he be the same Kappa that he was in Tampa or when he first got to Cincinnati? Was last year a fluke? But like I said, his numbers in the run protection is there. Penalties, two penalties all year. Everybody else on his team had more than him. On his offensive line had more than him. He was the only one on that offensive line that penalties were at 2. Next up was Mims at 4. See that the penalties is, man, we got to kill the penalties, and he's a guy that will kill the penalties. He's not going to hold. Now you might slide by. Well, last year they slid by him getting them sacks and pressures, but I think he just had a bad year. Was it due to the ankle? Who knows? I know he had an ankle fracture twice, once with Tampa and once with Cincinnati. Could that be an issue? It could be. But we're gonna see how did it heal up. Is it sturdy? Because I don't recall him getting hurt on that ankle last year, but he did have a bad showing last year. But that was the only bad showing he had in his career. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, why are we judging him by one out of the whole year, even though it's the most recent? But let him come in and compete. What's the harm in that? What if it was a fluke and he comes and kills it this year for the benefit of the Raiders? You know what I mean? So that's my theory on that one. All right, so let's get into this. Peaches in the building. Salute. Just win, baby. Yeah, if he doesn't do good, bye. No harm, no foul. We gave you an opportunity. You didn't produce. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. Can't be mad. You know, good luck with your next, you know what I mean, your next tour of duty, whatever team, you know, decides to give you that opportunity. But, you know what I mean, we're going to pass. He's not going to make the 53-man roster. He's going to be one of the other cuts from 90. You know what I mean? But at least give him an opportunity. That's why I'm saying we can't shit on the guy before he even gets out there. A lot of people shitting on this dude like his whole career's been horrible. But we can't do that. If we expect to be a better team and get better, we got to find help and good guys anywhere. Like they said, leave no rock unturned. Look everywhere. Look everywhere. And I agree. We want to get back to being a contender. How does that start? We go find the talent that can allow us to do that. Like they say, what happened last year, that don't matter. That's why they're competing for this offensive line all over again. You got to compete now. Ain't nothing signed, sealed, and delivered. You're going to compete. Either you're going to win it outright, but just imagine, this is what competition does. It brings out the best in you. It brings out the best. So what we're going to end up with is the best 5 starters on that O-line. The best that we have is going to be the starting O-line. And that's what you want. I don't want to have this guy starting because he's making X amount of dollars or because he was a first-round pick. You got to go earn yours. Go earn that shit. You got to go work, bust your ass and earn that shit. That's the only way we're going to be relevant again. We can't do favoritism. He was a first pick or he's making 10, 15 million a year. We can't do that. So, I mean, I understand what they're doing, and I agree. That's exactly how we salute Garza, man. Thank you for pulling up. I see you. I see you for real. All right, so let's get into I want to get into Devin White now. See, Devin White is the defensive guy. See, this is another spy tech guy from Tampa Bay that didn't have a great career after he left Tampa Bay. Why is that? Remember, I told you, the machine as a whole is greater than the sum of its parts, meaning the defense collectively is better than the individuals in it by themselves. I'm going to give you a good example. This is going to be, we're going to break down Tampa Bay's 2020 defense front 7. They ran a predominantly 3-4 defense with a nose guard, 2 D ends, outside linebacker, all that good shit. We're going to see what's the difference of Devin White after he left Tampa Bay and when he was there. Oh, and this is a telltale sign. Now, and then we're going to get into some other shit as well, man. Let me get this down. Let's get it. Okay, so this is Spy Tech talking about Devin White. If I can find this shit where I was. All right, so let's go.
I mean, Devin, obviously I have a ton of familiarity with my time in Tampa with him. I still maintain that other than Von Miller and the Super Bowl run in 2015, what Devin did in the 2020 playoffs is the best I've ever seen a defensive player play. It was incredible. You guys should go back and look at the stat lines he put up. He missed the Washington game with COVID, but 10 plus tackles in every game, turnovers forced in every game, and I know what he's capable of, and he's hit a little bit of a rough spot in his career here, but he's 27 and he's a good dude, and it's good to get him a chance to maybe revitalize himself with Pete, and then with he landed like those Mike and Will. Devin was a Mike for us in Tampa, but only because we had Levante at Will. Yeah. So there's very few people that can make Devin play Mike. Right. Levante's kind of one-on-one that way too, and so see Landon as the Mike and Devin as the Will, and two guys that can run and hit you and love to play. So pretty good combination.
So he's familiar with Devin White. He said hopefully he comes here and rejuvenates. What can rejuvenate Devin White? Houston didn't pan out. Philadelphia didn't pan out. Why did it take a big dip from Tampa Bay to where he went afterwards? Because it was the machine as a whole. Let me show you why, and then I'm gonna get into our defense, but let me show you why Devin White did what he did with Tampa Bay. Look what the front seven of Tampa Bay was in 2020, the Super Bowl year. Look who he had around him. And we're talking about Jason Pierre-Paul, who had, 9.5 sacks? Ndamukong Suh had 6. Vita Vea had 2. This was a defense. When I talk about, and we know Suh was a little bit longer in the tooth. Suh by himself, nada. No matter where he went after Detroit, nothing. But when you put him in a scheme, in a machine like they built with Devin White, Vita Vea, Jason Pierre-Paul, you know what I mean? When you got people like William Golston, you got people like Shaquille Barrett, you know what I mean? And you have motherfucking inside linebackers, Levante David, that was sitting there with Devin White. This is what it means when you say the machine as a whole is greater than the sum of its parts. We know Jason Pierre-Paul. What did he only have? 3 fingers? 4th of July into that shit? But yet you put him in a collective of guys such as these, and you get a dominating defense. Go back and watch the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tell me what this front seven looks like. Dominant. They was pressuring. Look, they played Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and Kansas City Chiefs didn't score 1 touchdown. With Mahomes, couldn't score 1 touchdown against these guys. What did we see Philadelphia do? Damn near the same thing. I think they let off the gas a little bit because the game was over, but they damn near did the same shit with the same fucking theory. Constantly pressure the quarterback. Bring your linebackers. Well, look at our guys. Devin White, they said, well, his cover, he ain't really good in coverage. Nah, that's not what we're going to need him for. I bet you they don't run on us. I bet you we force, and I'm going to get to the point of what I think our defense is trying to create. So I see us with Max Crosby, right? We got our Max. We're not going to go 3-4, but we can do 3-4. But Tampa Bay's base was a 3-4. So you had your nose tackle and Vita Vea with Ndamukong Suh playing end. You know what I mean? Why he was the nose tackle, and then you had your linebackers with your outside. I mean, you had the right pieces for what you were building. Spike Tech was a part of this. He's seen what kind of defense they built up front. Up front. Now imagine this. Now you go ahead and you go get Roberts from Pittsburgh, and you put him with Devin White. You still got Eckenberg, guy, the youngster. We could go draft a Campbell or a Walker. Who knows what we're going to do in the draft? Another linebacker coming in. You get I forgot our own linebackers we re-signed also. Then you figure you got Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, Adam Butler. You bring back Kuntz, Tyree Wilson. I expect him to develop in this system. All these guys together up front is going to be hell. It's going to be hell against these offenses. Now, since that's why Devin White was good in Tampa Bay, because of the machine he was a part of. See, we're looking at him individually of what he can and can't do. But what can he do in the right system, the right machine? What is he going to do when you got to double a Max Crosby or a Wilkins? What does it allow him to do, the blitz, if you want to blitz him? He's going to be wide open, untouched. I'm telling you, brother, what the Raiders look like they're doing to me. And here's another thing. What if we go in the draft and we do sign a Graham at DT? Oh, now you're talking. Now you got Malcolm Kuntz, Graham, Wilkins, and Max Crosby as your front four. Do you know how much freedom that Roberts and White's gonna have? And then whoever else we add to that mix? Quarterback and mobile quarterbacks, everybody in our division are mobile quarterbacks. We got to keep them in check. How do we do that? Get these linebackers who can, and safeties if we bring them up, to beat like your Jeremy Chin. Just look at and then I'm gonna get into what I think they're trying to do. This is what I think they're trying to do. Let me get this off the screen. So, like I said, man, I believe that White is better with who's around him. The same with Alex Kappa. He's better with who's around him. So with Devin White, the Raiders I think they're combining the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers front seven with the 2014 Seattle Seahawks secondary. Look at it. Look at it and tell me that's not what it is they're doing. That secondary looks like long and lanky safeties and corners that hit. That's how the Legion of Boom came, right? That hit. Is that not who they went out and got? Is that not who they went out and got? Look at the front seven. We added a guy, Devin White, came from the front seven of Tampa Bay. Then you bring in Roberts that comes from Pittsburgh. Come on, Pittsburgh always, that's linebacker university. You can't, linebacker, where you think Spillane came from? And a lot of people say, well, he didn't play a lot with Pittsburgh. Oh, but we forgot that Patrick Queen was signed and took up some of that time. And there was another linebacker, too, that he was in the mix. They had linebacker. He was expendable at 31 years of age. So they let him walk. Spillane, they didn't re-sign Spillane. What Spillane do when he came here? Bruh, I think our defense is going to be fine, if not scary. If not scary. You're putting a Legion of Boom secondary with a 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers front seven. Linebackers in line. What Max Crosby's going to do exactly what that Tampa Bay team did. Yo, Jason Pierre-Paul can be is Kuntz. Come on, bruh. Vita Vea, who's the nose tackle that we got? But you can pretty much have Adam Butler, even though we're not going 3-4, but having a defensive tackle, nose tackle, whatever. What's the big guy we got? The Polynesian cat, the big dude. That's our that's our Vita Vea. I'm not saying he's equivalent, but the purpose he'll serve if we do go 3-4, bam, that's him. That's our nose tackle. And you could put Max Crosby. Look, you could put Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins as your DNs. Your outside linebacker is going to be Kuntz. Come on, man. You don't see that shit? And this is what tipped me off. This is what exactly tipped me off with what Pete Carroll said at the meetings. He said, he talked about the defense, how they're approaching it, the players involved in the defense. And he said, I'm going to add my little tweak to it too. Oh, so your tweak is the secondary. That's all that whole secondary that smells like Pete Carroll. 6'4" safety, 6'3" safety, 6'2" corner. Jaquan Bennett, what, 6'1"? Speedsters at corner when you bring in Stokes with Jacorian Bennett. Hitters and Chin and fucking Paulo Mao. You don't see what they're doing? They're building a hybrid defense of the 2020 Tampa Bay Buck front and the secondary of the 2014 motherfucking Seattle Seahawks. You sons of bitches. You slick, diabolical, in the Dr. Frankenstein ass sons of bitches. I see it. Watch when we get into the draft and watch who they grab. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. We're going offense now. They built the defense the way they want it to be. Now, will all these guys pan out? I don't know. Lonnie Johnson got to compete with Stokes and got it with Jack Jones. That's competition. You want that. But boy, you're long and lanky with hitters in that secondary. And you might have a couple of lockdown corners. We know Jacorian Bennett's on his way. Who's on that other side? The competition's going to let us know. They talking about going with a big slot on defense, on big nickel. And they talk about you can throw Jeremy Chin or Lonnie Johnson in a big nickel. Oh, I see. You put a motherfucker down there like that with that line with Max Crosby and Wilkins. And like I said, they might grab Graham, defensive tackle in the draft. And I'll tell you another thing, you better not. This draft is going to be crazy, bro. It's going to be crazy. Shout out to everybody out there for real. Oh, the Cameron Richardson, 6'2". Hey, shout out to Raider Loso. See, that's all Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's got the secondary. Pete Carroll, you take care of the secondary. Patrick Graham and Spy Tech. Spy Tech gonna get me the pieces and get you the pieces of what we need. And that's exactly what he's doing. We look at these guys individually and be like, that's not moving the needle. Is it moving the needle when they're all playing together? And you can't run on us? And the quarterback is constantly being pressured to try to get rid of the ball, and you got these big, lanky secondary corners and safeties that can have a wide range of defensive coverage? Where are you going to throw to? If you can't run the ball and you become one-dimensional, you're dead in the water. Facts. We were dead in the water last year. We couldn't run the ball. Dead in the water. That's why we couldn't score points. We were one-dimensional. Just imagine if we had a run game. See, that leads me to believe, I know we're going to go running back, but where do we go? I don't know. But Garza, here's the thing. They had to become Pro Bowlers. They weren't drafted as Pro Bowlers. Where were they drafted at? Where was the Legion of Boom drafted at? See, they weren't first rounders. Was it the defense that made them Pro Bowlers? Or the individuals? See, that's why I say the machine, the defense as a whole is greater than the individuals. You grabbing 4th, 5th round, 6th round talent and making them Pro Bowlers. Why is that? Were they that really good, and everybody fucked up and they slipped past them? Or did Pete Carroll have the right defensive scheme to put them in? That's what Spy Tech said. It doesn't matter how great they are individually. Do they fit the puzzle? Do they fit the puzzle? I think the defense made those guys Pro Bowlers. Have they been Pro Bowlers since? Think about that. After the Nation of Boom, or I said the Nation because that's our shit. After the Legion of Boom, what happened after that? What happened? It was the system. After Devin White left Tampa Bay in that defensive system, what happened? After Nnamdi Asomugha left our system, what happened? It was the system. Systems make players look great also. Or else when they leave, they'll still be Pro Bowlers wherever they go. How's that working? Vita Vea is still with Tampa Bay. You know he had 7 sacks last year? This past season? That system. When he was in 2020, that Super Bowl year, he only had 2. But you had Ndamukong Suh and, you seen everybody that was on that team. Systems can bring the best out of players as well. I don't and Spy Tech said it doesn't matter where you get the talent, get them. Get the people that fit what you're trying to do. I don't care if they're undrafted, first round picks, seventh round picks. It don't matter. Free agents, draft picks, it don't matter. Trades, it don't matter. Just get, if they fit what we're doing, let's go get them. I don't care where you're drafted. You can be drafted into the wrong system and be ass, but get into the right system and flourish. I told you, Asamoah's the perfect example. I'll give you the reverse of that. Does anybody remember D'Angelo Hall when we went and got D'Angelo Hall? You remember how D'Angelo Hall was a great corner? But when we got him here with the Raiders, gave him what he had, a $16 million 1 year type deal, and we cut him after 8 games because he was getting burnt. It was he did not fit our system. Our defensive system was not a D'Angelo Hall fit. Hall was balling outside of the Raiders. We cut him after 8 games. He made $8 million in half a season. System means system fit. I ain't gonna say system period. System fit means everything. Everything. Now, you do got some players that's great no matter where you put them, but there's more that's not than there is. There's a handful of guys that's good everywhere. Not everybody's like that. It's all about system. Remember back when the Washington Redskins try to buy a Super Bowl? They added Deion Sanders and all. Man, they went out and got everybody. How'd that work? System wasn't the right system. You got to have a system fit. Exactly. I just showed y'all 2 reverses. Asamoah was good here, horrible with Philadelphia. 2 different systems. D'Angelo Hall was great with Washington, came to the Raiders, trash. Was getting burnt all the fucking time. Getting burnt. D'Angelo Hall, that Hall. System means everything. Devin White was great in Tampa Bay, horrible here. How do you make Devin White flourish? Put him in the system he succeeded in Tampa Bay. So we're going to build that front here. We talk about Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin didn't work out with Washington. What if you put him in a system like Pete Carroll want to do with the secondary? Geared towards his strengths. His strengths is his height, his length, and his speed, and his willingness to put that motherfucking helmet on somebody. Palomalu's the same way. Speedsters. Palomalu 4'3" at 6'4", 235, 40 pounds, 35, huh? Palomalu 235 pounds, I think. 4'3". Come on, bruh. I see what they're doing. I see exactly what they're doing. Oh, play Marshawn Yellow Raiders? What, this one right here?
I'm out of time. There you go. There you go.
There you go. There you go. All right, y'all, man. I'm about to get my ass up out of here, man. But yeah, man, this is what I'm thinking. May not be factual, but from the outside looking in, it looks like they're trying to recreate the 2020 Tampa Bay Bucks front 7, and duplicate the 2014 Seattle Seahawks secondary. Because the people that's building that shit knows what it looks like. I'm just saying. So with that being said, man, you guys have a blessed day. Please, if you have not done so, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like, man. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified of all the content I release, even breaking news, man. Hey, shout out to all y'all in the chat, man. This was a damn good show. I like this shit. Man. We covered some shit. I want to bring y'all some different aspect that a lot of people ain't talking about. We always shitting on players without knowing the background. You know what I mean? So, hey, hopefully that answered a lot of questions, and we'll see if that's indeed exactly what the Raiders are trying to do, is trying to combine the Tampa Bay Bucks with the Seattle, I didn't really say Supersonics, the Seattle Seahawks, bruh. If they can duplicate that shit or come close, that's going to be scary. So with that being said, man, hey, salute to y'all, man. Hey, I'm Lunatik Raider. We'll be back tomorrow, same Raider time, same Raider channel, right here on Raiders Allegiance, man. I'm Lunatik Raider, and like I always say about this time, I'm out this bitch.